by Tommy Truth. Truth Mafia music, we bringing the truth that the mainstream hides.
Welcome to another episode of Truth Mafia News. Make sure you smash that like button, share this video, episode 23. So I thought we would do one today on United States in 2050. They have a whole agenda about this. It's Agenda 2050, and their plan to split America up in 11 mega cities. Now, guys, I've been talking about this for a long time. I always said 10, so I was off by one city, but I was pretty close. They put a website up and everything. We're going to share a video. Me and my father will go over it. Before we get going, though, I want to show you guys this clip, and it's pretty crazy, man, what these phones are doing. We got to be careful with these phones, okay? This guy rips this stuff apart. Check this out. Puts the phone inside of here, and then he's going to call it, and you're going to see. Now, imagine you're holding this phone up to your head. You're getting a phone call from your daughter, your son at school, whatever it is. Maybe just a normal phone call. And this is your head. You know what I'm saying? So we definitely got to protect ourselves. And that's why we promote Body Align in the energy wellness protection. You put this on the back of your phone and you're not going to have to worry about none of that. It's an amazing product. That link is down in the description. I did a post that went really viral on one of my Facebook pages, and it was about how every time they rolled out satellites, people didn't feel well. They roll out 1G, people don't feel well. 2G, same thing. You know what I'm saying? It's called electromagnetic frequency sickness. It's a real thing. So, I mean, it can cause serious things, headaches, tiredness, brain fog, sleep disturbances, which was a huge one for me. I just had to go get a test today to do a sleep test at home. Restless, anxiety, nausea. I mean, it just all kinds of things that you don't want to have happen. And my favorite product they have, which helps with the EMF and some other things, is the wellness band. I'm wearing mine right now. It has the Sugnite, the Torlamine, all that grounded up into that medical grade silicone. And then it has a hologram on the back, which has certain energies and frequencies binded to it. So it really protects you. Promo code Truth Mafia, all one word, capital T, capital M. And we have a BOGO going on, don't we, Dad?
Yeah, buy one, get one free for it's today, tomorrow, and Friday. Ends Friday at 11:59 p.m. Or I'm sorry, 11:59 p.m. tomorrow. Friday night it ends.
You can get it in black or white. I like the black because the white, I get stuff dirty, anything white, but the white looks nice for the women. And I mean my son likes the white better, but whatever color you like. And then if you want to get your personal decode, that link is also down below, where I decode your first and last name and tell you your role in this simulation we call life, whether you're a non-player character or a first player character. And I'm actually decoding right now Lady Gaga and her new song Abracadabra. That will be done for you guys tomorrow, and it's going to blow your mind, because abracadabra, it's an ancient word that comes from Hebrew Aramaic, and it means I will create as I speak. Or you flip it upside down, the amulet, and it means I will destroy as I speak. So that's going viral on a lot of platforms right now. We're going to watch this video on Agenda 2050, and then me and Pops will have a conversation on it. I'll show you guys their website, and then we got some spirituality stuff we're going to talk to you guys about as well. So here we go.
and widespread as the vultures of Great Reset tyranny circle a sickened and angered populace that is on track for a mass starvation event in the very near future.
We're seeing this madness spread everywhere now. In Ireland, they're going to cull 200,000 cows over 3 years to meet the net zero climate goals. Germany, this is their German newspaper, the Daily Bild, 1 sausage per month, according to the government's new proposal with the German Nutritional Society. This is real. It's happening. It's not theoretical. We're not talking about down the road.
When you know that Agenda 2030 is simply a milestone year within that 100-year period. The milestone years are 2020, 2025, 2030, and 2050. They really fully expect to have this entire plan locked up and completed by 2050. If you go to America2050.org, which is a Ford Foundation and Rockefeller Foundation project, you'll get a look at what their idea is for in fact, what they want the United States to devolve into, which is to destroy the sense of having a unified union, and to, in fact, not have 50 states any longer, to have 11 mega regions. And in fact, what this plan does is it destroys the concept of the nation state, and it completely destroys it and devolves it into the city states or regions. And these are not, like individual cities, like say San Francisco or New York. These are regions that are governed by megacities, which are huge, enormous cities. It could be part of Washington State, part of Oregon, part of Idaho, and part of British Columbia. So it breaks the national borders, it breaks state borders, breaks, of course, county and city borders. And this is about destroying your ability to actually be able to control what it is that happens to you. It's a plan that is actually, it's a global plan, but they implement it locally.
People depend on you for what's left of the food. You control them. Where food is abundant and cheap, you do not control them. Where energy is cheap and abundant, you do not control them. Scarcity equals dependency equals control. And that's why they're targeting the food chain, they're targeting the energy supply, they're targeting everything.
French President Emmanuel Macron's country has been flooded with the United Nations self-proclaimed replacement migration. Regardless of what the propaganda denying its existence would have you believe, Macron is now priming the pump for energy crises and food shortages as the World Economic Forum once again tightens its grip on the neck of the French people. Disgraced California Governor Gavin Newsom has said the quiet part out loud, pushing California towards a goal of zero emissions by 2035.
In the next 15 years, we will eliminate in the state of California the sales of internal combustion engines.
Extreme heat will grip much of the state through the Labor Day weekend. This morning, Governor Gavin Newsom is laying out ways you can stay safe and prevent putting a strain on the electrical grid over the upcoming days. Let's listen in.
We voluntarily ask you to do a little bit more to help us get through the next week or so, to turn, interestingly, up a little bit the thermostat at home to 78 degrees. Try to pre-cool earlier in the day the home. Try not to use too much electricity in those key hours, and the key hours are between 4 p.m. and 9 p.m.
If we are not able to ask skeptical questions, to interrogate those who tell us that something is true, to be skeptical of those in authority, then we're up for grabs for the next charlatan, political or religious, who comes ambling along.
John Bound reporting.
So that was over there with John Bound. And I looked at their website, Pops. It's crazy. Some of the plans they got planned for us, bro. They show us the mega cities. They're called districts in the Hunger Games. Remember, guys? The Hunger Games has the same thing. These districts set up where the poor people can't go past this line, and then you got like more of a even more poor people. I mean, it's like super poor and mega rich. So what do you think about that, Dad?
Well, I won't be in that reality of the 3D. I will be in the 5D reality and not have to deal with that. But what do I think about it? I think that Satan rules this 3D world, and that he's going to enslave and torture and kill and maim as many people as possible, along with all of his minions and followers. And if you're not spending time with uh, building your relationship with the divine creator that we live in and it lives within us, then you might end up on the wrong side of this. I've been, this is these are people that want to control every single aspect of everyone's lives, and they've already been laying in the the technology to do it. I mean, most people say, "Oh, look at all this AI coming," and AI is good in good people's hands and bad in bad people's hands, right? But they've had artificial general intelligence and artificial super intelligence (ASI) for decades now. They've been implementing it. Okay, all of these social media platforms were originally, the big ones created by where DARPA, right? And then got a figurehead. You get people scrolling, plug in. Let's show you. They're going to take this stuff. Um, they're going to take all of this stuff, even jacking into the grid. They're going to take it with their open arms. I mean, most of these people will take it with open arms. There's no if and buts about it. And the way they're going to roll this in is, you know, everything is for your benefit. Universal basic income has to go that way because AI and robotics is going to be taking everybody's jobs away. It's already happening. It's accelerating. It's going to continue to accelerate. And they're going to have to come up with that. But there's going to be a price to pay in the 3D reality for that. That's 100%. There's no ifs and buts about it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. And yeah, AI. I mean, listen, I use it for like spell checking and stuff like that, but it's on my new iPhone 16. It's completely integrated into the new iPhone 16s. It's crazy. Sometimes it'll just wake up and talk to me at night. It's nuts what it can do. The new iPhone 16 plugs directly into Chat GPT. I mean, it's like a little assistant. But so it can make your life easier. But the problem is we got some psychos that are using it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't trust it in their hands. That's the problem with
Well,
that.
you believe, and I'm sure that a lot of people on this call believe that we have multiple dimensions, right? We have multiple layers of time. I mean, now with these quantum computers, they, just look up what's been going on with quantum computing in the last freaking month. I mean, they're hitting multiverses, they're saying, and they're creating new substances. I mean, this is crazy. Where they thought they were going to be, a couple decades from now, we might be there in a year. So knowledge in technology is accelerating. And again, in the hands of the dark and the wicked, it will be a deadly weapon. But in the hand of righteous and the light, it will be a great, thing for the light also. Until you don't need it, until you're vibrating in such a high frequency that all whatever you think is manifested, right? So manifestation happens instantaneously. Son, I got a really I what the download I got when we started this whole journey, which was new for me, back in 2020, the whole patriotic side, the spiritual side, I've been around. I've always been a patriot, but the spiritual side, I've been around for a long time. And when, the divine creator told me to help put together spiritual patriots, right? To help feed the light. Feed the light with your frequency, your vibration. Feed the light. Don't feed the darkness, right? So after the llama went rogue and, went to the dark force, it's been almost 2 years. It'll be 2 years up when Noah is 2 years old, which he's, in June. And so it'll be 2 years. And I've been feeling like we are missing a piece here, because I was seeing within the circle of life healings happening, financial blessings happening, things happening for people that were just amazing. And it was happening in the membership. It was happening in, in the community. It was just in the prayer circle. It was happening, tremendously. And so we're going to be bringing that, you and I, back together for the folks, so that we can give them the resource to get that spiritual help and coaching and healing and really working on it. So we'll be talking about that more and more. But I've been, for the last few years, talking about a great separation, separation. And at first I thought that it kept on coming into my spirit that it would be, the righteous from the wicked separating in the United States and different countries or different states and counties and all of that. But then it came to me that it was really a separation of the timelines for the wicked and the righteous. And depending on which way you're vibrating is which way you're going to go. And that there would be no more gray, meaning you could not sit in the middle on the sidelines in the gray because you were afraid to go one way or the other. You either were going to feed the light or feed the darkness, but it wouldn't be sitting in the gray anymore. This has been coming to me over and over again and again and again and again. And, so through doors that opened and doors that closed, I was on a call today with some very, very, very blessed light warriors, let's say. There's people that are doing quantum healing in groups, okay? Meaning people are on Zoom meetings and getting healed with quantum healing and doing dark, what is it called with the blood testing when you do it dark? I forget what the name is, but it's when they put your blood into this dark thing and they look at the cells. There's people that have been with their blood cells being a certain way prior to coming to these things. Then after they test their blood cell afterwards, what was there before is gone. Okay, gone. So these people came to me. I didn't go searching for them because, I attract things because, that's the divine's calling for what's going on. We're going to be bringing these people to the public, and we're really going to put together a spiritual community like never seen before on this planet that's going to help feed the light and help us accelerate the ascension of Earth and humanity that is going down that path. Now, a lot of people aren't going down that path, and that's their journey, and they can go down whatever path they want. But I know myself personally, I am focused, laser focused on helping as many people feed the light as possible, and also helping Mother Earth as much as possible, to heal and get back to what the biosphere was thousands of years ago, because that's what we need. Again, these 15-minute cities, all of that's happening in that timeline. There's no doubt about it. It's going to be like rough. It's going to be the 4 dreams that I had after the Revelations 12 sign in 2017, right around that time. The dreams I had about the tsunami on the East Coast that was tremendously high, like skyscraper high. The tsunami on the West Coast that I was, in there with Darren and Ray Grimm and with my wife going to have lunch, and that happened where I couldn't even see the sun. The waves were so high. The third dream of the red planet with the black lines, that everything was melting. Everything was melting. I was just walking around untouched. And then the fourth dream where I was in the Oval Office with President Trump, and that the whole entire ceiling of the Oval Office was transparent or blown off, and we could see all hell breaking loose. So just as we are in other, what they call multiverse, right? Yeah. This whole timeline is already. I was told today Well, I talked about what I just said, and I was told today that that happened a couple weeks ago, and it's going to accelerate really big. It's going to accelerate. So I have to say it for the millionth time to everybody, because I love you all and I want to see you, move and feed the light. Is you got to work on that relationship with the divine creator. You have to, and it's the most important thing that you do. I'm looking to get this thing launched in the next 30 days so that we have these teachers that can, we're going to have a free community 100%, but also we'll have what we had in Circle of Life, son. You remember that. And we're going to be bringing, great people from around the world to help people, feed the light. Let's feed the light. The more of us that are feeding the light, the more things are going to happen faster and faster. And it's going to be good for the people that are feeding the light. The people that are feeding the darkness, it will not be good. And the people that are trying to sit just on the fence in the gray, unfortunately, you're going to get pulled into the darkness, because the creator don't go for half, effort. You got to put the effort in.
Yeah, and the world is definitely getting crazy in this timeline, that's for sure. Did you see where now Trump he's selling gold cards? Trump is selling gold cards now, guys. So for $5 million, he's selling these gold cards to these foreigners, and it's kind of like getting a green card, and then you can become a citizen for 5 million, which to me, when I first looked at it, I'm like, okay, that's a good way to generate money. But the scary part to me about that is, dude, anybody can get in. So you might have a terrorist or someone that hates us, and all they need is 5 million, and they
Well,
can
they'll still run their background. I mean,
I hope so.
yeah, they'll still run their background. But um, I mean, it's a very interesting time to be alive. I mean, you've got a lot of again, the darkness going on. One of the things I was saying, we've been talking about, the earthquakes, the weather, all of that would increase and accelerate, and it has been doing that, and it will continue to do that because of all of the stuff happening, feeding the darkness, with so many people feeding the darkness, and so much electromagnetic pollution, and not enough negative ions going into the atmosphere. A bunch of different variables making that happen. But on the other side of it, again, you are in charge of your own reality around you. Take ownership of it. I mean, I don't let anybody negative in my life, whether it's a family member or not. They got to go. Okay. I tell them, you're going to have to leave if you can't be, positive around me, because I'm not going to absorb your negative energy. I'm not going to do it. So you got to weed the garden of the negative people and the negative things in your life, because that affects you whether you like it or not. And you do not want to be putting out a negative vibration. That's for sure, because that's what you're going to get back.
100%, man. So what do you think? You think the gold card's a good thing or a bad thing?
I mean, look, I'm letting them do their what they're doing. What I would like to see is that we know all this fraud's existing. Let them, go through every single expense, get rid of all the fraud, then take the federal government back down to the Constitution, which is 5 things. 5 things. That's it. 5 things. There's no more than 5 things. We talked about it. The Treasury printing our money backed by real precious metal assets. You know what I mean? Not bull crap. Our labor is the only thing that makes this money worth anything. Piracy on the high seas, protecting the high seas, military for the protection of our border and the protection of our sovereignty, right? Traders that go against our country to try to take us out, or selling our secrets or anything like that. That's another thing that they're supposed to be protecting us. And trade agreements, fair trade and all of that. So those are the 5 things that the federal government's supposed to do, and everything else is supposed to fall onto the people and the states, not the federal government. So in that 3D, I hope that happens, but in 5D, you don't need a federal government, right? The federal government washes away because you don't need a federal government, because everybody's governing themselves. Right?
Right.
If you
Well,
can manifest based on thought, you don't need anything, because you can manifest everything that you need. Okay? People just don't get it. They think that, oh, that Papa Truthful, he must be crazy. What's going on with Papa Truthful? But hey, I mean, God bless. I'm right now in a very beautiful place. I was in front of the mountains and ocean this morning doing my meditation and my Tai Chi Gong. I feel very blessed and honored to be, my life the way it is. I want to help as many people as possible, as many people as possible. And there is these different dimensions. There is these frequencies that bring you to them. Son, in the past where whole civilizations have disappeared, some of them vibrated out.
Atlantis, Lemuria. Well, Atlantis destroyed themselves, but Lemuria is a little more, nobody knows really what happened to them. So yeah, there's been civilizations that have definitely got up out of here. I think this is interesting here, though, that they chose to publish this at 1717 Eastern Standard Time, because, that's when we made the first Freemasonic Lodge in England, the year 1717. So this could be a good thing. It could be a bad thing. You see, the article says he added the possibility that Russian oligarchs could qualify for gold cards. But look, hey, whatever. Russian oligarchs, what's that really even mean? Are they gangsters over there in Russia? And this is that page, America 2050 Pops, where they, are talking about splitting it up into the 11 mega cities. And I find it real interesting, too. Look at their little logo, guys. Symbols rule the world. And look, they got the plane right there. Plane's just been crashing left and right. Can I blow this up? No, it doesn't let me. But they got the plane right there, and then the train. Remember, we had train derailment after train derailment after train derailment with what happened out here in East Palestine, Ohio. And then people are still all messed up. That's about 45 minutes away from me. And now we have the planes going down. And you got these people talking about their plan for this time frame. It really has already started, but 2030 through 2050, it seems like it's going to ramp up. And, I'm trying to vibrate up out of here too, Pops. Listen, I'm always studying how to get the hell out of here. I was looking at, I've been really into the inner Christ, the inner Christos. And a lot of people don't even know what this stuff is. And it's a secretion that secretes from your pineal gland. So I'm going to play this real quick. I can make it read it. Hold on one second. And listen to this, Pops.
Colostrum oil.
Oh.
Much confusion has arisen regarding the validity of the sacred preservation of the inner Christos due to the science surrounding the first initial stage of the process, the colostrum's oil. In short, the sacred secretion goes as follows. Lunar energy enters a star sign. Resonating antennas, the biomagnetite in brains, pick up on this frequency and translate it into a biochemical one. The colostrum releases its own neurotransmitter signaling to the pineal and pituitary. The pineal father and pituitary mother then release their sacred secretions, the milk and honey, into the living waters of the body, cerebrospinal fluid. These secretions travel down to the sacrum, sacred place, where Pingala and Ida energies intertwine in order to birth the spiritual seed. This spiritual molecule is then pumped back up the spine, where it becomes crucified, double-crossed, at the optic chiasm. The sacred essence then passes over the arachnoid granulations, both blood and water, before entering the blood. From here, the Christos travels back, passing the substantia nigra, dark place, and ends up at the lateral ventricle, the tomb or cave, covered in a white sheet, behind which one would find the caudate nucleus, a small body, during a dissection of the brain. Here, the spirit molecule rests until triggered for release by the exiting of lunar energy from the resonating star sign. From the above, it can be seen that the secretion from the claustrum is indeed the start of the internal process of preservation, but it is not, yet, an oil. Instead, it signals the release of a biochemical which will later create the sacred oil via DMT conversions. In modern science, this secretion is referred to as somatostatin. Thus, the claustrum can rightfully maintain its title as the seat of consciousness.
Now, this is where we get the inner Christ, that oil is resurrected back up our 33 vertebrae. And they say Jesus died at 33 AD, you know, and Dad, so like yours, when you're lunar, when Taurus, because you're a Taurus, Pops, is in its lunar phase, that's when your secretion activates. And during that time, some people say 2 days, other people say 4 days. It has to be 4 days because it gets frozen at the cross for 2 days, and that's when it's resurrected on the third. So it's more like 4 to 5 days. You're supposed to fast. And it goes past the vagus nerve too. And that's why the ancients, they believe anyways, from this secretion, were being able to heal themselves, living longer, being able to talk to the divine, the creator, which is inside each and every one of us. You heard what it said, the pineal, the father, the pituitary, the mother, then releases the sacred secretion, the milk and honey. And DMT, think of DMT, guys. When you go to sleep at night in REM sleep, your body releases mass amounts of DMT, right? Moses, I believe it was Moses, he was talking to that burning bush. Well, if you go look in that area, it's full of the acacia bush, which the acacia bush is rich in DMT. So that's how he was most likely, I wasn't there, but most likely how he was communicating with the creator. So this is where the story of Santa Claus comes from too, Dad, going down the chimney. It's an allegory from this, the inner Christos, this Christos oil. Have you heard about this stuff?
Yeah. Yeah. It's pretty interesting, huh? How
Yeah,
everything,
it's awesome.
how everything correlates. And, you know, one of the things I was seeing a comment about somebody's brothers and sisters that were, you know, family members that are Christians. And look, I love my brother and sister Christians and, you know, Hindus and all of the people that are in that are love and peace and all, you know, putting, you know, giving to the light. But all of these religions weren't started by the creator.
No, they weren't.
Not one of them. They were all started by men that were in control or elite of the churches and all of that. And I don't, you know, I'm not saying this one's 100% right or this one's 100% wrong or this one's 100% right and wrong. The ones I've studied, most of the information is pretty much in sync with each other, but there's so much missing, and no one knows it all. And anyone that tells you they know it all, it's not true. They don't know it all. And so we just have to be unconditional love, unconditional forgiveness, and really spend time with working on our relationship with the creator. You know, the point of origin, right? The beginning that always has been and always will be, that everything's in living and it's in everything living. So we've got to make sure that we're focusing on that stuff and praying for guidance and, you know, thanking for guidance. You know, one of the things, again, I talk about is I am. When I wake up in the morning, I am grateful. I am happy. I am well. I am wealthy. I am healed. I am knowledgeable. I am wisdom. I am courage. I am fearless. I am faithful. How many I ams can you say good about yourself? You need to speak positivity into your life. You need to do it. And you need to focus. Go into a quiet place. Go somewhere into nature and just sit and breathe through through your nose, pumping through your stomach, like you're breathing in and your stomach's pumping. Hold it for like 4 seconds. Breathe out through your mouth. Just focus on your breath. Focus on, clearing your mind, getting connected to the divine creator, and getting your downloads, getting better discernment. It's so important because, look, the third D is only going to get harder. It's not going to get easier. It's going to get harder.
Well, yeah, there's a mass die-off going on the fish and the birds that they're not covering right now. So it's already getting harder. But that what you were talking about with the breathing pops, especially after I was in the hospital and my blood oxygen level got down to 70, which is crazy. It's supposed to be like 99 to 100 in that area. It was down to 70 there for a minute. But I've been really focusing on my breathing in the morning and doing, I do about 10 minutes of my meditation, and I've been able to get my heartbeat down to like 60, which I've never been able to do that before. My heartbeat has always ran higher. So it's helped with my anxiety and a lot of things, just calming yourself. But you're 100% right. We definitely, there's power in words, right?
Well, there's power in words, there's power in prayer. Affirmations are very important. The vibration, the frequency. I've got one of my, business partners sends me a lot of negative stuff. And I'm like, I don't want it. Don't even put it on my IM because I don't need it. You know what I mean? I don't want it even showing up on my IM at all. Right. Because I'm weeding the garden and keep myself positive. Another great thing, they're called Claritin. These things you can get on Amazon, okay? Claritin ionizers, negative ions. Plug those in your house and watch, the change of environment that are in your house. I mean, these are very dirt cheap, and you can plug them into your outlet, and they produce negative ions, which helps clean the air. Again, let me read this to everybody. And one of the things that I'm working on with TJ and our team is, bringing out these devices that we'll be talking about in the middle of March. Some of them some of them with people that aren't going to be they're public people, but they're people of wealth and spirituality that want to help Mother Earth, right? Want to help Mother Earth. And then other folks will be bringing out devices that can help, farmers clean all the soil, clean all that negative GMO crap that they've got in everything. It's in our water, it's in our air, it's in our pollen, it's everywhere. Let me just read this. Hold on one second. I'm going to ask ChatGPT.
Is this it, Dad, what you're talking about? Is this it? This mini negative ion filtration system?
Yes. I have those in Austin. I have those here in Dominican Republic. I have those both places.
We might be able to get them from our distributor on our store. So
maybe you have to take a look,
I'll take a look. I think we can. But we can usually get anything Amazon has and for cheaper. Amazon ranks the price up. But as of now, you can get it on Amazon for $104. And yeah, go ahead and read that, Pops, what you wanted to read.
Yeah, I'm putting it in there. So I'm asking it, I'm saying, what is the positive effects of negative ions on the people and the planet?
There's a couple different ones too.
And so, and a lamp, like a salt lamp's very important.
Oh, I got one right here by my desk, Dad, right in front of my computer. A pink one. It glows different colors inside. Yeah, I actually bought that off Amazon.
Okay, so let me just read this. So I said to it, what is the positive effects of negative ions on people and the planet? And it came back to me and said, negative ions have several beneficial effects on both people and the planet. Here's a breakdown. Positive, you want me to show this real quick while I'm reading it? Because it's good to show and read simultaneously.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I think this is really important for people to understand. And then we cut down half the trees. We cut down half the trees. Why did we do that? You know what I mean? We shouldn't have done that. Cut down half the trees. We should be using industrial hemp, not cutting down half of the trees. That's really stupid. So Positive effect on people, improved mood and reduced stress. Negative ions increase serotonin levels in the brain, which can enhance mood, reduce stress, and improve overall well-being. I think we all need a little bit of that. Better air quality. They attach to airborne particles like dust, pollen, mold spores, and pollutants, causing them to drop out of the air, leading to cleaner air. They enhance respiratory health by reducing airborne irritants. Negative ions can help people with allergies, asthma, or other respiratory issues breathe easier. Increased energy and alertness found in nature, especially near waterfalls and forests. Negative ions can boost energy levels and mental alertness. Improve sleep. Some studies suggest negative ions help regulate sleep patterns by increasing melatonin production. Stronger immune system. They can help neutralize harmful bacteria and viruses, supporting a healthier immune system. Look at the positive effects on the planet. Now, remember, one of the main, now these devices that we're talking about, we call them DPEs, Defend Planet Earth. And the big ones have a different name, which I'm not going to be publicly talking about, but they're moving forward because it's all going to be amongst people with lots of wealth that are going to help, get 350 of these, 330, 350 of these things out. When I said before about how each one of these puts out 260 Amazon rainforests worth of negative ions for just one of these big ones, that was for the first version. That's not even for the second version. That's all encased in copper, which is putting out. It's ridiculous the amount. I'm getting those numbers. But air purification, reduce static electricity and EMF pollution, better planet growth, improved water quality, storm formation and weather regulation. I mean, how about mental health? How about mental health? Oh, how many people are on medication right now because they have issues with mental health?
Well, I definitely have high anxiety.
Yeah, no, you do, son. I get it. Me, I don't, because I have those devices in my house. I have on the Bodyline wellness band. I have on my disc on my cell phone. I do meditation. I do breathing. I build my relationship with the creator. I mean, look at this. I mean, look at this. Fights depression, reduces stress and anxiety, boosts serotonin levels, enhances mental clarity and focus, improves sleep quality, increases energy and motivation, reduces effects of EMF exposure.
Oh, that's a good
Okay,
one.
so let me say this. And how do I stop sharing my screen? So do you think they've been cutting our trees down because they know they were the biggest producers of negative ions on the planet? Now, of course, waterfalls do it, the ocean does it, mountains do it, green life does it, but the trees were pumping out the most. They were also pulling in a lot of the CO2 on top. So this is why we have this problem with electromagnetic pollution that's weakening the magnetic sphere and heating up the upper atmosphere, that it can't even be heated up by 1/4 degrees. It could throw everything off. And they're saying that the magnetic sphere is weakening from South America to South Africa. So when I say that the divine creator is bringing very, very important things into my life and into my team's life, it's it's obvious that that's happening, right? And that's about building a relationship, because we can't wait around. You don't hear the government talking about anything about the electromagnetic pollution at all. They're not talking. And you think that all of those things I just went over will help speed up ascension and help bring more positive vibration and feed the light? Son, would you think if those are implemented, that is going to accelerate ascension, feed the light and bring more people, you know, into the light.
Probably why they cut the trees down, Pops, just like how they took the organic cane sugar out of all of our food and put in the GMO corn syrup. And I could never figure out why they did that. And then you look at that product, Richard came on and talked about Nano Soma, and that conversation me and him had, and then you find out why, because it has all these health effects on you. And you guys, you can get that down in the description too. You guys remember Richard was
well,
really
that
cool.
works with the energy body. First, I would recommend that everybody watches your interview with Richard and you. That stuff helps with the energy body. So the
And
energy body
body's
looks,
real. It's real.
No, it's real, 100%. They have machinery that can testing that can show it 100%. And
Right
most
there.
people's energy body looks like a bunch of meteors in it, right? I think I had that before. I don't know if I have it. I can bring it on next time. But where this person had indented all over their energy body, indentations of tremendous amounts of indentations. And after spraying 5 of the nanosomas within 5 minutes, they only had 1. So all sickness starts in the energy body. All disease, unease, all of it starts in the energy body. So I was wondering, like when you, son, when we, I got back from Dominican Republic, I had the product there. I talked to you. You told me you might be losing your leg if you don't get it under control with what you were taking, antibiotics and stuff. I sent you the spray. I sent you the gel. And once you received it, about 3 days later, I got that text from you saying, this shit really works. And you sent me the before and after picture. And it does. And the reason it does is because it really, I mean, besides going into your cells, improving your immune system and all of these things, it freaking sorts out your energy body in a big way. I mean, in a big way.
Richard said this was like a fungus growing on me, bro. And that's why that gel, that topical gel, I put that on there. It cleared it right up. I got to get some more of that stuff, that gel.
I have one right here in front of my desk in the spray, and I have it nose thing so I can put it up my nose. I mean, I really understand it, and what it's done for me is really given my sensibility to energy. It's intensified it, right? So I know it's working on my energy body because everything's flowing better energetically.
Yeah, well, everything is frequencies. Remember, we went over that during the last show. Certain frequencies relieve pain. Certain frequencies heal the tissue and organs. Just through frequencies, we can heal ourselves. That's why none of this holistical stuff, they don't want us to know. They don't want you to know none of that. And there's a few I missed out that I got to put on there. We're going to update that and link it to our healingfrequencymusic.com. So you guys can check that out. But yeah, it's amazing what you can do naturally and holistically.
That's how we have to move to that direction, because we have a sick care system in the United States. We don't have no healthcare system. And then if you go to the hospital for an hour and a half, they hand you a $10,000 bill for nothing, for being in a room on a bed. I mean, it's disgusting. Down here in the Dominican Republic, the food, now, not that they don't have some of the food with the corn syrup, because, they do, but they have their meats and their fruits and their vegetables, and they do have organic stuff that don't have any of that in there, and you can tap into that. We paid for the last month like $500 feeding 4 people down here.
Oh, that's crazy, because
for the groceries. I mean, with grocery bags that you got to go back to the car multiple times to get it. You know what full coverage, 100% insurance up to 2 million pesos, which you would have to be like being rebuilt as Frankenstein to spend that kind of money. Down here, $149 a month.
That's
for
great.
Full coverage insurance, 100%. Not only medical, but dental and eyes and all of it. So it's and then when I came down here, with the my wife Cindy got sick and gave it to me. Well, guess what? They were giving me ivermectin in the hospital. So, I mean,
Wow.
America's healthcare system is a sick care system. And I'm hoping Bobby Kennedy is going to pull all these poisons out of our food. We shall see.
Yeah,
Right? Time will tell, but it needs to happen. I mean, there should have been an executive order to remove all chemicals from the food immediately. Immediately.
Well, did you see what one of our
And
followers?
pesticides from the crops. We don't need pesticides. We don't need them. These devices that I'm talking about, the agricultural devices, clean the soil. You need no pesticides. You need almost no fertilizer, and your soil's clean and it uses half the water. Okay. Wow.
Right.
We need
Yeah.
those on every farm out, and then now the bigger ones, the bigger ones of those cover like 150,000 acres or some number like that. It's incredible. So, it won't take a lot when you see that we're sending $50 million for condoms for some country, and you can put out those big devices for 25 million, and you can get the other devices in hands, get thousands of those out, then tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands, and you can turn over this planet and its soil and its production of food to a better thing. I mean, that's something that you need to focus on, right?
100%. And Gator Acid, you couldn't be more right, because I've looked into this extensively. You guys know I've wrote many blogs on bioengineered foods and GMOs, and that's what it all comes down to. They can't patent anything, Dad, that grows naturally. They can't patent it. But once they genetically modify it, boom, they throw a patent on it. Now it can be sold. Monsanto, I call them Monsantin, because that's who they really are. I mean, they own a bunch of companies too. Bayer, Kellogg's, all created by Monsanto. And they got corn that grows up here in Ohio, and say some just small-time farmer down the road, he still has the heirloom corn that his grandfather was growing, right? This Monsanto corn will cross-pollinate that heirloom corn and genetically modify it. Ain't that crazy, dude? Like,
Yeah, I mean,
how did they even think to do that? You know what I mean? It's kind of diabolical when you think about it. But yeah, man, it's crazy. It seems like when you really start to pay attention, everything they're doing is, to keep us in a state of sickness, which the medical industry is the same people. If you look at these, there's these major families, and they're all on the board of
State Street,
BlackRock.
right? Vanguard, State Street, BlackRock. Vanguard, you can't see who owns the company. BlackRock, you can. Vanguard's on BlackRock. I mean, they're feeding their system of stealing everything from us. But the disclosure that's coming out, more is going to be coming out. And again, the timelines are going to continue to split further and further apart.
Yep. And you are right. There are sound frequencies that repel pests and bugs.
We have them in Bodyline, the pet tag. The pet tag that goes on your pet's collar, instead of putting Frontline on them and the poison all over them, you can put that pet tag on them. And besides the other great things it does, it also repels fleas and ticks, all based on frequency.
Yep. Frequency is the best thing that they've hidden from us, man. They really have. And then you find out that the GMO companies are connected to big pharma, and they own the media, and they own social media. Let me tell you guys a little secret. If you don't, most of you probably know this, but a long time ago, when the internet was really getting going, when we all had, what was that called? Before Facebook, MySpace. Remember, guys, when we had a MySpace, you could have your own little musical thing going. I like MySpace better, but so MySpace was there. Then all of a sudden, it just gets ran over by Facebook and nobody can figure out why. Well, they come out with that movie where Mark Zuckerberg stole it from his college roommate, da 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 da. None of that's true. Mark Zuckerberg is a character that they came up with because DARPA developed this thing called LifeLog, where they were going to steal the American people's data and get them to share information on social media because they seen what MySpace was doing organically. And boom, they come in the same day Facebook launches, LifeLog shuts down. DARPA's LifeLog. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. And the data help to train the AI. Pops, I really believe that they've had artificial intelligence at the level they've given us right now to what we have access to. I think they've had that since 2001, bro.
Oh, even before that.
Probably before that, you're probably right.
Decades, and artificial superintelligence.
Yeah, they got shit, dude, that, excuse my language, ladies, but they got stuff that, I mean, we, you know, we would look at it like it's magic. You know what I'm saying, bro? I forget who said that.
Well, if you're vibrating into the 5D, you will be, you know, you will be magical. There's no doubt about it. You will be able to think and manifest because you'll be unconditional love and unconditional forgiveness. So there will be no harm in you having those abilities, right? I mean, humanity is governed down. We're governed down. You know, like everything's governed down. The brain's governed down. Everything's governed down to where we're not at our, you know, most people are running 5-10%, right? So imagine when you turned on to full 100%, you make the Avengers look like they're children. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
Christ did say when he was here on the planet, you know, you can, you know, if you had the faith, you can move this mountain and throw it into the freaking ocean. And you'll do these things and much more. And people don't believe it. And they don't believe that there's people out there right now doing helping people heal all kinds of stuff, past wounds in their childhood, or, you know, they're, you know, growing up. You gotta, you know, one thing I'm going to say to everybody is, and I hope you do this, live in the now. Don't live yesterday. Don't live in the past. There's no future in the past. Live in the now. Don't worry about what's happening tomorrow. Take care of today. Focus on today. Do what you need to do like it's your last day today. And then tomorrow will come. And then you can, you know, handle tomorrow. But you can't get yourself stressing out over the past and over the future. Just focus on what's going on right now.
Or like, yeah, 100%. And guys, I see a lot of people, is Elon good? Is Trump good? I don't care anymore. I used to care. Now I just don't care. I don't even put my energy into whether or not them two are good. You know what I'm saying? When I watch Trump, it's for comical purposes. He makes me laugh. So it's like me watching a comedian. Just like when I watch Alex Jones, he just makes me laugh. You know, he gets all crazy and shit. But to me, it's all a show. So I don't even put my energy into it like that and get all upset and mad at the TV. There's nothing you can do anyways, unless a revolution pops off. And, you know, we can't say that. We can never say to do something like that, which we would never promote to entice violence or nothing here. I mean, there are things you can do peacefully. Write your congressmen, write your senators. Really, if we all could get millions of people to put their energy and focus their energy on one goal, we could change it. We don't need to do none of that. We don't need to write them. We could just focus on that and change it. But you know, it's hard to get a lot of people to do that. And before we go, Dad, because we're coming up on the hour, I seen too where the one thing Trump had me laughing about, he was reading off where in the healthcare system, they were paying Social Security to people that were like 130 years old.
24 million people might be getting Social Security checks that are 100 and over.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Now, again, I don't know whether they're getting them or not. They're on the rolls, so we don't know if they never took them off the rolls. But based on everything else they're doing, probably they're getting them. And the government shouldn't be in retirement anyways. If you give the same amount of money that you put into Social Security, the average person puts in Social Security their whole life, they would make like 5 times more money a month if they were putting it into a private entity than the government. The government has been robbing everything blind. And hopefully we're going to see, again, I think you have, multiverses, you're on multiple realities. Sometimes you're good, sometimes you're bad. I think that's something that might be more true than it's not.
I
And
agree.
so we need to really focus on, well, is this the good Trump or the bad Trump? Is this the good Elon or the bad Elon? Well, there's probably good Elons and bad Elons and good Trumps and bad Trumps. Just like there's good Tommy Truthfuls and bad Tommy Truthfuls and good Papa Truthful and bad Papa Truthful. Yin Yang. Yin
Yep.
Yang, right? So
The dark white, yeah, the dark, the light, as above, so below. I mean, it's all duality. And in these different multiverses, there's even a theory out there that some people think you might die in this reality, but your consciousness is in another reality living. So I mean, there's so many different things they're finding out with the quantum physics and quantum mechanics and all that. It's amazing. It's one thing I could say before we go, Pops, and then we'll end this. It's a amazing time to be alive, brother.
it is. It is. It is.
It really is. And before we go, guys, again, all the links are down in the description. I want to touch on one thing really quick, because a lot of you guys are probably like, man, what's going on over at Truth Mafia? Everything changed. Well, there might be a couple kinks we're still working out, but you can see we redid the site. So, you just click on this, find me, because people are like, I can't even find you, Tommy, on your own site. So I made it real easy to find me now. She might have to get this fixed. I don't know if she fixed it yet. Oh no, she fixed it. So now the calculator is even bigger than it was before. So it's easier to see. She did a great job. The girl we got doing this. And if you so there's not going to be the stuff on the homepage. You can go to trending, news, or say one of the content creators are your favorite. You just go to their channel. That's all. Oh, you want to see something from Anya Sorbu? You go see what he dropped today. There's Ani's stuff. Boom. So we kind of made it easier to navigate. And then on the homepage, it has a few things. And we changed the color palette. Because you guys know me, I'm all about that green. And it has nothing to do with money. It has to do with your heart chakra. That's the color of the heart chakra. So that's why I put a lot of energy into that color. It's a very, very positive color. But I hope you guys like the new design. I like it. I think it looks pretty good. And then all of our sponsors are right down here at the bottom. Make sure you guys come over, go to my channel, and watch the video I dropped with me and Richard right here. Because he talks about his product halfway through, and then the other half, who would have known Richard is a truth seeker? I mean, he gets into the Rothschilds, the Federal Reserve. I mean, this dude had some knowledge. It was actually one of my favorite conversations I had in a long time.
You should pull that out too, son. You should segment that out.
But this?
No, segment that out, that part, and put another video up for him.
I am going to. Yeah, I'm going to, because it
so
was
people can go right to that part. But yeah, he's very knowledgeable. He's got, there's a lot of good people around him, very spiritual leaders, a lot of good things happening there. So we're excited. The site's looking good. It's looking great. We'll continue to fine tune it and continue to tweak it. You guys find anything, let us know, and we will get it fixed 100%. We're going to be improving it more and more and more. So I want to say that I love you all very much. I pray for you every day. I want to see you step into your power and become the people that you're destined to be. Those of you who are not, those of you who are currently not, those of you who are, congratulations. Keep up the good work. We got a lot of work to do. You can vibrate out of any of this stuff that's going to be negative. Okay. You can vibrate right into your destiny and into something that's beautiful, right? That
100%.
you never feel the love like you'll feel with that. So, all right,
Well,
son, it was
yep.
awesome being with you tonight and being with everybody.
Thank you, Pops. I know you're a very busy man, so I appreciate you taking your time out to come on here with us. And
Absolutely.
I really appreciate it. I hope you have a great night, Dad.
Thank you, son. Love you, man. Love you
I
guys.
love.
Take care.
We're out of here, guys. Smash that like button, share the video.
Yo, we living in a sim, reality's a game. NPCs around us, they all look the same. Soulless entities controlled by AI. Quantum computer running life, asking why. Are you just a player, controlled by machine? Or a first player character, living the dream? Tap into the code, break free from the lies. Decode your Gematria, see through their disguise. In the simulation, what's your role, what's your fate? Are you real or controlled, can you navigate? Elites use Gematria, secrets in the code. Find out your archetype, let the truth unfold. Super quantum computer, pulling all the strings. NPCs moving like puppets on a swing. The Matrix got nothing on the life we lead. Green letters falling is the truth we need. Are you just a player, controlled by machine? Or a first player character, living the dream? Tap into the code, break free from the lies. Decode your Gematria, see through their disguise. In the simulation, what's your role, what's your fate? Are you real or controlled, can you navigate? Elites use Gematria, secrets in the code. Find out your archetype, let the truth unfold. Archetypes defined from NPCs to Neo. First players rise, let your true self show. Through the